Dear students, first of all, congratulations for having completed the master's program at IBEI. And dear families, you can be really proud of your grown-ups. I can attest that each of them has worked hard for months to earn the degrees that we are celebrating today. This is the end of the master's program, and I think it's a good moment to reflect back. And I think we will have been very successful if the master's program has achieved three main things. So the first is a good network of people and who will be in similar occupations and to whom you can turn for advice and help. This cohort at IBEI has been particularly active and very social, and it has been also a very diverse cohort. You embody today the word international, which is so core to our institution and to the master's degrees. I remember last September at the welcome talk by Robert Kisak, when he asked you to introduce yourself and to explain something fun about yourself. And there were so many anecdotes on travels, experiences, things that you have done. And I remember thinking, wow, this is a truly interesting and very different cohort. And it has been a fantastic group. But most importantly, you are not just now a bunch of interesting people together, but a network of people who are diverse but also now have a lot in common. You have a common academic background and many thousands of hours of study together in groups for assignments and so on. You will be spread around the world very soon again. But please, my first message is please cherish and take care of the network that you are today. Tell us where you are in a few years' time and keep in touch with each other and with us. So this is, I hope, this network that emerges is one of the things that you will take away. The second thing that a master's program provides is a set of valuable skills, and you have worked very hard in readings, classes, assignments, and so on. We teach here a lot of specialized knowledge on international affairs, development, and security, but we also strive to train minds in more classical analytical skills. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I think a lot these days on what will be valuable skills for her life. Maybe that reflects on too much anticipation, but still. So I think the world is being very profoundly transformed by brilliant new technologies, and it's changing at a speed that's quite unprecedented in human history, and this can be scaring at some point. But rather than being just worried or blind to these challenges, I think it's wiser to address the question honestly of what skills are needed. And my view is that so machines are becoming very quickly proficient at solving very specific tasks. So give them a special goal, and they will do very well. But they are very dumb at tasks that require judgment and switching between different tasks. And so the goal of education today cannot be to just do one thing. And I will not be so broad to say, oh, you must learn to learn. That's true, but probably very blunt. I think a master's program should give you general background knowledge that you can quickly recall so that you have good judgment and are not easily fooled. And I think you all have that. And it should teach you skills like combining arguments, logic, theory, and facts in skillful ways, leading teams of diverse people, and fine-tuning interpersonal skills. So we will have been successful if you cultivated these analytical and social skills that I think will be useful in life. Third and finally, so I think a good master's program should also be transformative at a deeper psychological level. So after a year in Barcelona, you come stronger and more resilient. And I think the program will have given you confidence in your skills and your abilities. But also it should strengthen you at some core values. And I was these days looking at these commencement speeches, and they are all about, oh, you should do this and do that, and you know, break the rules and don't settle and do great mistakes and so on. And I'm not sure about this grand advice, because what you will need to do in your life will depend on your constraints, on your personalities, on many different things. But however you are, a good education should be transmitting some core values, and I'll talk a bit about this. So first, the value of tolerance and respect of others is ever more important with the challenge of more immigration and more increasing transnational lives. And your generation has so much to teach us in that respect. I urge you first to remember and remind others that collaborating with people from different backgrounds makes you richer, and that diversity is a powerful asset for everyone. 2018 has been a great year for gender equality, and again, your generation has so much to teach us. We've talked many times in the faculty how many powerful women and people in general, and respect for people from different genders, sexualities, and etc. We have. I was very proud that the last number of the journal that your cohort has started editing is on gender issues, so keep on with that. In the age of political polarization, it's a good moment to remember that the extremes are seldom right, and that wisdom is often in the middle road, and here you have learned much about this complex problem. So this advice is harder for younger people who may be more like hot sometimes, but tolerance also implies trying to understand with people with whom you strongly disagree, and this includes Brexiters and Trump and things I know some of you dislike. So always listen to the other side. And finally, one of the most striking developments in recent years is the erosion of democracy for the first time in decades. And I hope you have here studied or understood that complex problems that we are facing in the world. It's unlikely that a single strong man will be able to have the right solutions for all, but the deeper commitment to democracy comes again from liberal values, and one is that no one is superior to others in ways that justify preferential treatment, and the second is that no one can judge what is in the best interest of a person better than the person herself, and this applies to parents who are very keen to judge. But together they make a compelling case for the principle of one person, one vote, which is at the core of the normative case of democracy. But more generally, I would just like to say that these values of respect for the views of others can be good guides to live good adult lives. And best of luck in that.